So a good crowd inside Cooper's Stadium tonight for this clash. There is Carl Beard, the reigning A-League Coach of the Year. He has been close to taking the Reds to the grand final for 3 seasons now. Is this finally their year? Fuktala has signed a 2-year contract this week to succeed his great friend Steve Corica, who was rightly lauded as a club legend upon his departure. Fuktala's last game as an A-League coach saw his Phoenix team beaten 2-0 here in last year's finals. Our match referee this evening is Adam Kersey, the 34-year-old Queenslander. And it really is a perfect night in South Australia. Nice and mild and dry, and the pitch and surroundings as ever perfect. Let's have a look at the team news. The Reds making 3 changes. The first time they've rotated their 11 this season. Partly out of necessity, of course, with Nestori Irankunda suspended. Panash Madana and Isaias also both drop out. There are starting debuts for Giuseppe Bobolina at right back and Ryan Tunnicliffe in midfield, while, as expected, Bernardo gets the job of filling Irankunda's boots. Joe Gauci and Alexander Popovic both celebrating national team call-ups this week for the Socceroos and Olyroos, respectively. Now, 3 changes for Sydney as well. Ryan Grant hasn't travelled due to the imminent birth of his child. Zach De Jesus makes his starting debut at right back. Aaron Gerd and Pat Wood revert to the bench, necessitating a bit of a reshuffle. Jake Girdwood-Wright drops into defence once again. Anthony Caceres drops deeper into midfield, with Jayden Kucharski making his starting debut after 17 appearances off the bench. And Fabio Gomez is back at the point of the attack. Jack Rodwell and Max Burgess remain on the sidelines. Well, there are plenty to cheer about in the opening few weeks of the new season, particularly here at Coopers. Although it was a bit tougher against Victory last week, and those Sydney FC fans that have travelled south come in the hope that they will see a much improved performance. Very, very tepid against Melbourne City last week, which was perhaps the final straw that sealed Steve Corica's fate. Bernardo gets the job of filling the not inconsiderable boots of Nestori Irankunda and trying to score past Andrew Redmayne, who has conceded 7 times already in 3 matches this season. What an intriguing night ahead.
It is game time. Let's get ready to
Joe Gauci in the Socceroos squads. Andrew Redmayne not included for those World Cup qualifiers against Bangladesh and Palestine. So in terms of the start of the weekend, it's top against bottom at Coopers. We know what we'll get from the Reds, Daniel McBreen, but are we about to see a new Sydney FC?
Well, good evening, Simon. Fuktala will be hoping that's a positive yes, and so will all the Sydney FC fans. They'll be looking to rub salt into the wounds, but we heard of Fuktala saying in the pre-match that they're looking to get the players in the right positions to match their qualities. And that's what they've worked on over the past couple of days on their training sessions, so we'll see if that comes to fruition.
No Ryan Grant, though, at right fullback tonight. Almost doesn't seem a Sydney FC team without Ryan Grant, but obviously missing for personal reasons. Big chance, though, for Zach De Jesus. Here's perhaps his first test. Bernardo holding off, and Sydney come away with the ball. It's Joe Lolly on the right with the early delivery. It's awkward, that height for Nick Ansell. Out it pops for Bratton. Now Lolly on the right. Sydney have 3 players in the box, and Gauci's forced to come out and claim. And claim strongly he did. That's a great take.
It's a great start for the young man. Comes out strong over his own defenders.
Away races Ben Halloran. The Reds quickly in position. There's space on the left here for Bernardo. And he wanted that one extra touch. And the chance was quickly gone.
Well, he really should have taken that first time. It was a wonderfully weighted pass. He should have stepped onto it. Had a strike first time. Defenders were rushing across.
Hectic start, as we anticipated it might be. This is Zach Clough. And Lacerda getting far too tight. As mentioned at the top, Mac, a few would have predicted this scenario after 3 rounds. Adelaide got absolutely hammered by the Wanderers in the Australia Cup. Sydney breezed all the way to the Cup. And yet, the start of the league campaign has been, well, almost the exact reverse of that.
Well, there was plenty of talk about Craig Goodwin leaving and not many players coming in for Adelaide, and where are the goals going to come? And wow, bang, 9 goals in the first 2 games, and they put that to bed very early. Sydney FC looked very good in the Australia Cup campaign, didn't they? Early on, I thought, yeah, they'll be at the top of the table. It just has not worked.
Given away momentarily by Sydney, but tidied up here by a combination of Caceres and King. That'll be a Sydney FC throw. And for all the talk of Iran Kunda, and that's completely understandable, of course, with that move to Bayern Munich seemingly all but confirmed. Big chance for Bernardo tonight. And he's a handy player too. But the Reds on the back foot at the moment. Joe Lolly. And Lolly! Oh, that's a brilliant goal from Joe Lolly. It's Sydney FC's first goal of the new season. It has taken them the best part of 400 minutes to find the back of the net since their last goal in last year's finals. But Joe Lolly was unerring with that finish. What a start for Ufuk Talay.
Well, you can see on the Harvey Norman replay here, there's one thing you cannot do is let Joe Lolly inside on that left foot. We've seen him do it time and time again, and that is a wonderful finish. He looks so promising and so in control in the Australia Cup. You let him inside into those areas and he will punish you, and punish Adelaide he did. A wonderful finish into the top corner. Joe Gauci at full stretch, and the first goal of the season for Sydney FC.
Well, he's normally the assist king. Only Craig Goodwin created more chances in the competition last season than Joe Lolly. And that, dare I say, was a Craig Goodwin-esque finish. Change of jersey here for Joe Gauci. And I reckon that's referee Adam Kersey saying you have to make that change because you look too much like the Sydney FC away kit.
I'm surprised that got through before they got out there, to be honest. Joe Lolly didn't care.
That was a thunderous finish.
Well, we've seen him do it time and time again, haven't we? He comes inside on that left foot, looking to get the strike away as an inverted winger does. They just stepped off him, the Adelaide defence, gave him the time and space. No protection for Joe Gauci on that one. And the Ufuk Talay era begins in earnest.
And Cooper Stadium, or at least the vast majority of it, just a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Here's Gauci, now replete with a much darker jersey. In the air by starting debutant Giuseppe Bobolina. Another one off the Reds production line. It's a good switch by Johnny Yule. Bernardo had to track it down. Track it down he did. He has Kitto in advance of him. Yule acting as the decoy from the throw. And Bernardo earns another one for the home side. Just the second goal that Joe Gauci has conceded this season. Of course, they came from behind to get a point against Melbourne Victory last week. This is a strong run, though, by Jaden Kucharski. Still going as well. And he takes a tumble inside the box and is asking the question of Adam Kersey. Big smile on the face of the referee. Does award a corner. Let's have another look.
There was a little coming together, wasn't it? But I think it was in the challenge. If you see here, gets the ball, he just clips his own heel, really, doesn't he? In the connection.
I don't think there was quite enough in that for a penalty. Obviously, VAR checks everything. And on we go. Check complete. Sydney still have a corner, which Lolly delivers. Back post is Lacerda. Kito up and away for the Reds. Caceres to steer it back towards De Jesus. Now Kucharski. Cut out by Kito. Now Halloran to try and get the motor running. Ansell. Give it away. Bratton. And now Lolly. And again, Sydney have three options in the box. Lolly with perhaps his less preferred right boot straight into the gloves of Gauci.
It was just a little too close to Gauci, wasn't it? A couple of runners. Fabio Gomez had just dropped off, halted his run, looking for the cutback.
You reckon that'll be one of the things that Talos tried to instill in his players this week? Give Fabio Gomez some service, particularly in the air. Here's Bernardo. Caceres with the intervention. Joel King. A bit tight in there, but foul by Giuseppe Bobolina. Taken free kick. De Jesus is after it. Taking on Ryan Kito, and he's found the angle, has he? Yep, for the cross. And brought down by Fabio Gomez, and he was not far away from completing what would have been a quite remarkable finish.
Well, Simon, you remarked that they'd want to get more crosses in for him, and this is what he can do. Look, under heavy pressure, gets the ball down off the chest. Red shirts all around him, still manages to get a little toe poke shot away on goal.
Credit to Mick Ansell, who made the block. Another corner for Sydney. Robert Mack to swing it in, and up to the back post was Lacerda. And he perhaps should have done a bit better with that.
Oh, that was a great opportunity, wasn't it? Watch, everyone comes to the near post, it goes back post, and that's a glorious opportunity to double the lead there. Totally miscued that one. He lost his marker 6 yards out.
Let's go down and say good evening to Lucas Ronaldo. He's got a bit more info about Joe Gauci's shirt change. Lucas.
Yeah, good evening, boys. Joe Gauci, it was noticed in the tunnel, actually, that he was wearing, of course, the same kit colour as Sydney FC. That referees came up to him and said, you need to change that, but it took too long. Eventually, of course, got it out to him, so he's going to have to do with the black and white for now. So I presume at half-time they'll have to change the socks as well. And just on the conditions down here, a lot windier and a lot cooler than we expected. It was 40 degrees here in Adelaide yesterday, so prime conditions for football.
Thanks, Lucas. Here's Robbie Mack for Sydney. He made a good start to life under their new coach. Lolly. Could have been awkward for Gauci, bounced just in front of him. He's going to wear the all-black Naka, Lev Yashin-esque from back in the day. Russian goalkeeper for younger viewers.
Only goalkeeper to win the Ballon d'Or, is it correct?
Talking to keepers, here comes Andrew Redmayne. It's good anticipation in the end, and he executed it well. Another player has perhaps had a bit of a nervous start to the new season, but he was quite decisive in that particular moment when Sydney needed him. King to hoik it upfield, chested down by Popovic. To turn for Clough, but immediately shut down by Gerdwood Reich. And Gomez using that 6'4" frame to leap above Kito and deflect it towards Lolly. And he's in position for the return as well. Sydney already looking far more potent. Out it pops. Anthony Caceres. Now Joe Lolly again. And Lolly! Oh, goodness me. And it took a touch off a defender on the way through as well. It's going to be another Sydney corner.
Well, he looks lively again, doesn't he, Joe Lolly? See here, looking to come inside. Just a little touch off the defender there. You're right, Simon, they do look full of energy, Sydney.
He looks as though he's enjoyed himself, Joe Lolly. Fans trying to lift their team. Robbie Mack to deliver the corner in front of them. It goes all the way across the face. And Joel King was there and turned in for a second Sydney goal by Joe Lolly, who helps himself to a double. And we've not yet played a quarter of an hour at Coopers.
Well, Adelaide didn't deal with the first ball in. I think VAR might check here for an offside, but see here as the ball comes in on the Harvey Norman replay. As the ball comes in, now Hiroshi Ibasuki is keeping Joe Lolly onside there. And as the shot came in, he's found himself in the fortuitous position right in front of goal, and he's tucked it away with some aplomb. And the wonderful start to Tallay's reign continues. Adelaide red bodies everywhere, but nobody marking Joe Lolly, who graciously tucks it away. And after 3 rounds where they couldn't find a goal, they have 2 inside the first 15.
Well, it's not a bad conversion rate, is it? 4 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals. And Adelaide United simply do not know what has hit them. As we mentioned pre-game, has only had about 48 hours really to try and get his message across. Clearly he's done the trick. Here's Lolly on a hat-trick, of course, shut down by his compatriot Ryan Tunnicliffe on a starting debut in the Reds midfield.
Well, you mentioned Tallay not getting much time to get his message out there. Well, he's getting it out there now on the sideline. He is screaming and shouting and barking his orders. He wants his team to press and press hard.
Tunnicliffe, Johnny Yule. Popovic. Back for Joe Gauci. Tom by Bernardo, but he's going to have to give chase himself. Adelaide's creative players haven't really been in the game as yet. Pencil across to slide that one out of play. Congratulations to the Ansell family, by the way. Welcome there. Son Noah into the world this week. Look at that stat. 7 shots for Sydney in the opening quarter of an hour. 3 of those on target. Ooh, Johnny Yule sliding in, making contact, and will receive a card. I don't think there was a huge amount of malice in that, but it was the follow-through that caught Luke Bratton.
Be honest, Johnny Yule just pulled out of that, gets the ball, pulls out of it. I think he's harshly done by there.
The replay suggests you're right, Luca. And that's not to say that it doesn't hurt Luke Bratton.
Yeah, exactly right. But I think he did
unfortunate.
I think he did everything he could to stay out of the challenge. He won the ball, tried to retract the legs. It wasn't as though he threw himself in the air, was it? He was on the ground.
I do think it's the trailing leg that catches Luke Bratton, who certainly felt the full effect of it. Adelaide fans not happy that a yellow card was the end result and a free kick. Even less happy if Sydney grab a third here. Robbie Mack on free kick duty. Lacerda. Adelaide trying to push up and push out off the head of Popovic. Brought down by Yule. Halloran is furthest forward for the Reds, but tidied up by Joel King.
Well, Simon, you and I had plenty of conversations around Fabio Gomez and the delivery he needs, crosses in the box. As we've ticked over into the 18th minute, Sydney FC 8 crosses in the match so far to Adelaide 0. And we talked about Ufuk saying getting his right players in the right positions for their strengths. Well, like you say, I think that's one that they've highlighted. They weren't really working well enough.
Well, if you get a 6'4" striker as good in the air, you've got to play to that strength, haven't you? Adelaide have got similar sort of a player at the top of their attack. Roshi Basuki, haven't really been able to find him yet. Into the air by Yul. Soda taking control for Sydney. They were, up until tonight, the only team left in the competition yet to score a goal this season. That stat has, well and truly been put to bed. Took a swing at the ball. Completely missed, and the Adelaide fans, no doubt, are going to tell Adam Kersey that that's worthy of a yellow card as well. Escapes with a warning.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough as well.
Tale at the edge of his technical zone once again. He's literally kicking every ball. Offside flag is raised against Bernardo. Well, it's the sort of energy that they've replicated on the field. And this performance, Macca, it's only 19 minutes old so far, but it's night and day from last week against Melbourne City.
Well, it is. If we do an interview with Ufuk Tale, his voice might be night and day as well. He might not have any, because he is driving this team.
Borbolina. Given away to Ceres, into the path of Jaden Kucharski, who's been buzzing around that penalty box. The cross coming in again, looking for the head of Fabio Gomez. Adelaide's happy to scramble the ball clear, but that's all they can do. The small knot of Sydney FC fans that you can hear loudest of all inside Coopers at the moment. Quickly taken free kick, in fact too quick for the Reds. And Halloran not really in position. Gomez can't control it.
Shows the dominance there from Sydney FC, doesn't it? Only 20% of the game being played down in their back third. Pressure that they've been applying to Adelaide.
It's a lovely touch from Brad Mack. Ansel nipping in ahead of Fabio Gomez, but brought down by Caceres. Lolly, De Jesus outside him. Immediately on the move. Gomez at the near post. Sydney pressing again. Lolly, those little angles nicely. Kucharski charged down by Ansel. They'll come again through De Jesus. Kucharski, now Lolly. Joel King having to check his run. They'll start again through Girdwood right. But the movement has been 100% better for Sydney FC.
And also the energy from Zach De Jesus and Jaden Kucharski as well. Two young players on starting debut. They've really added a little bit of intensity to this team.
What does Carl Veart do about it?
And at the moment, his team look flustered.
clearances they've made already. Sydney yet to make one. Just to underline your point that you made some minutes ago. 9 crosses for Sydney. They're getting into those good areas to make those crosses as well. That's a foul by Zach de Jesus. Popovich. Turned back by Tunnicliffe. Big call for you to replace Isaias with Ryan Tunnicliffe for a starting debut tonight.
Well, I think he's such an influential player.
Championing a bit, I know, for a start. Ryan Tunnicliffe, nicknamed the Terminator. Bovalina, it's better for Adelaide. Isuzu missed it, still might work out all right. Bernardo, good save, Redmayne. First real counter punch thrown by Adelaide United.
And they got a lot of bodies forward on that occasion as well. Ball came all the way across to Bernardo. Lovely little step over. Andrew Redmayne saving with the left foot. See there. Step over, quick feet. First real highlight for Adelaide.
Zach Clough. Plenty of air. Bovalina at the back post. Scooped away by Girdwood Reich. Johnny Yule slipping on takeoff. Still there though for the Reds. Here's Halloran. Drop for the shoulder by Bovalina. Oh, and that was going to creep in at the near post. Redmayne have to move smartly across his line.
A couple of promising moments there for Adelaide. Few and far between in the opening 25 minutes. Sydney pressure, it's been relentless.
2 decent stops though by Andrew Redmayne. As the Reds show some signs of life. Here's Joel King though for Sydney. It's going to be a corner. Robbie Mack with Sydney's 4th quarter of the game. With Isuzu Ute, the near post. Halloran. It's difficult to try and find the angle there to thread the needle for Clough. Tally out again. Issue a new set of instructions. His team has executed a pretty good game plan so far. Gauchi to float it out towards Kitto. Still there for Ryan Kitto. His determination has got in there. Out comes Redmayne and had to make that. And the flag was up anyway against Bernardo. But Andrew Redmayne was not to know that. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, you saw him sweep earlier. He came out and chested the ball clear on that occasion. Out, down quickly. Got to the ball first. Exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. There's a look again. Maybe just a smidgen offside.
Isuzu certainly was offside.
Yeah.
Bernardo perhaps a little bit more questionable. Sent forward by Redmayne. Returned with interest by Ansell. Caceres. Lolly. Nobody at the back post. And Mack and Bovalina colliding. And it's the Adelaide United defender who gets the verdict. Probably fair enough too.
Yeah. He didn't make life easy for himself with the way he chested the ball down. Gave Mack half a sniff at winning the ball.
Popovic, Clough. Trying to hold off the attentions of Girdwood Reich. So grateful there for the intervention of Popovic. Redmayne out to sweep once again. Not just goals Sydney FC wanted tonight, but clearly also a clean sheet as well. Adelaide may not be in the mood to give them that though. Now Ibasuki just getting the better briefly of Girdwood Reich. Lacerda there to provide cover and tidied up by King in the end. A bit more zip about Adelaide United. Bernardo. Johnny Yole. Bovalina. Hence the return from Clough. Sydney well set defensively, but Adelaide trying to pick their way through, and they earn themselves a corner.
Well, they're starting to work themselves into this match, aren't they, Adelaide? Intense pressure in the opening half an hour. Just starting to find their feet a little when they go forward. Combinations starting to click into place.
Ansell and Popovic have made their way forward for Zach Clough's delivery. Bernardo at the near post. They went towards that area. Halloran leaves it for Yule. Wasn't the best ball, to be honest, and Robbie Mack has nipped in. Another word with his captain for Tale.
Joel King, he's the one closest to Ufuk Talay. He might have a bleeding left ear by the end of the first half.
Here's Fabio Gomez, got a lucky bounce. It might work all right for Sydney though. Jaden Kucharski makes it 3. Super combination between Gomez and Jaden Kucharski. And maybe Sydney FC, even after just half an hour, are out of sight. It's a first A-League goal for Jaden Kucharski.
Well, as simple as that on the Harvey Lorman replay. The ball falls fortuitously for Gomez, who then plays it through to Kucharski. And look at that, a real cool head on starting debut. Drives directly towards goal, opens up the hips and just slots it past the advancing Joe Gauci. Great composure from the young man. And Sydney FC, 3 games without a goal, 3 in 30 minutes.
They're like bosses. You wait for ages for one and then 3 arrive all together. And on starting debut, he has his first goal in the competition. The youngster who once stood in the Cove with his dad. What a moment for him. It's all rather glum on the Reds bench. This has been a horror first half for Adelaide United.
Well, it has. And just when you thought they were starting to get a foothold in the match and create a few opportunities, as simple as that, Sydney FC go down the other end and extend their lead. And Kyle Viet will be absolutely raging.
See if they can make a dent on the scoreboard. Bernardo on the move. Suki was in position, but so too was Girdwood Reich for Sydney. Serda gets it out of harm's way, and the bouncers done for Nick Ansell, who's helped out by Alexander Popovic. Gomez stays down. Referee will stop the game to check on the Brazilian's welfare. It looked a fair challenge. Strong challenge. It's two-footed, isn't it? But I think he does get the ball.
I think it's when he comes down, maybe when he lands, his left shoulder, I think it is, just sort of goes under him. Maybe that's where the pain. He looked to be grabbing at his shoulder. Nothing wrong for me for the challenge. No. It's a great centre-back challenge for me. See there, the holding that shoulder.
Let's go down to Lucas Ronaldo again whilst we got this break in play. Lucas.
Yes, Simon, as you'd expect, Carl Veet has been absolutely spitting chips the last few minutes. Really not happy with his side's pressing, particularly when Sydney have been coming forward in the final third and in the midfield as well. Ufuk Tele, though, he's been the one more vocal. I reckon he said the words "get up" about 50 times in this opening half an hour. Fabio, by the way, he's still getting a bit of treatment, but looks like he's going to be okay.
Thanks very much, Lucas. Did that ball go out? It did. Red's corner. Interesting, those pictures of Carl Veet, like a caged tiger, just patrolling up and down the technical zone. Inwardly steaming, you'd imagine. See if they can improve his mood, the home side. Here's the corner again, plenty of flight. Popovic at the back post. Sarah's won it, and Kucharski will get his team a goal kick. He's been pushing for a start for some time, in my opinion. Maka, Jaden Kucharski, and he's repaid the faith shown in him today by Ufuk Tele with that goal.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's a wonderful young talent, very positive in his play, and we spoke earlier about the injection of energy along with the Jesus at that right back position. They've looked good.
Top by Gomez, first time touched by Joe Lolly. To link up with Kucharski. Swept upfield by Kitto. Serda beating Ibasuki in the air. Lolly breaking clear of that challenge from Halloran, but not the subsequent one from Kitto. In Sydney's favour. There's Gomez. Lolly somehow found the gap for Caceres. Lolly again. You could see what he was trying to do. Just a little heavy on the release.
He just looks full of confidence again, doesn't he, tonight? Trying little flick passes with the outside of the foot, taking runs at people, more than most shots at goal in the game.
Robert Mack got away from Borbolina and stood his ground pretty well. Ibasuki and Clough. And a foul by Girdwood Wright.
Too sure if that is a foul. I just thought that was good, strong shoulder to shoulder. You know I don't like giving fouls away very often.
It takes an awful lot for you to get something to foul, Daniel McRae. King Bobolina as well to angle it out towards Tunnicliffe Altman near touchline. Basuki's also stationed. Of course, unfortunately for Carl Weerts tonight, Macca, as was so often the case last season when the Reds were in a spot of bother, he can't turn to Nestor Irankunda. Not this evening, anyway. There's Gomez. A little break for Kucharski. Sydney in position again. Turns it out towards King. Caceres, top of the box. Looking for the angle. Anthony Caceres. Well held by Gauci.
Well, you mentioned the possibilities off the bench. There's a certain young Mr. Toure who's been lighting it up, coming on as well this season. And you wonder if he'll think about Isais to come on in the midfield to maybe just try to get a hold of that midfield and get on the ball and control it a little bit more for Adelaide. I can still hear Tale now saying get up to his back four. He wants to close down that space in the midfield so there's no way for Adelaide to play through.
Well, so far they've heeded all of his instructions to the letter. Difficult really to see how this first half could have gone any better. Well, for Tale's first game in charge. Tunnicliffe. Adelaide have had much more of the ball, but really that stats pales into insignificance when you look at the scoreline. Two chances created, one for Bernardo, one for Bobolina, both well saved by Andrew Redmayne. See if they can fashion something here. Kitto going first time, Ibasuki in the middle. Hiroshi Ibasuki. Redmayne out to meet him, still Ibasuki. They delayed too long. The answer is yes, unfortunately for the Reds. Ibasuki just wanted that one extra touch.
Yeah, it was a good move from Adelaide. It was one of those situations where every time he took that touch, another player arrived in front of him and he just couldn't quite fashion the space. When he turned inside, it was a split second where you thought he may have been able to get the shot away, but Andrew Redmayne was out quick, closed that space down, and the moment was lost.
Substitutes have been sent off all in a group. Going to warm up next to the Pickard stands. The chance brewing here. Nice backheel by Bobolina. Teed up for Bernardo. Charge down. Did it come off the arm of King? It's still not completely away. Now it is courtesy of Gabriel Lacerda for Sydney. The arm was tucked pretty much by the side for Joel King, even if it did strike part of the body. Tunnicliffe. Hallowed. Floated. Just too far in advance of Bobolina.
You can see the idea, just to try and bend it just around the nearest centre-back into the path of his support play, but just couldn't quite get the bend on it or the direction.
Doesn't mind getting forward, does he, Giuseppe Bobolina? Clearly has been given licence to do so. That's Panache Madama, of course. You could say the same about Javi Lopez. He's on his way back from injury. It's a ball against Clough, which is a little unfortunate. Joe Lolly were briefly teammates, by the way, at Nottingham Forest. They didn't actually play a game together in their days at the City grounds. It's just inadvertently striking the hand of Sutcliffe. Had to deal with it. Another Sydney corner. Yeah. I don't think he had any other option, did he, but to put it behind, as he knew Kucharski was in close attendance. Max corner. To the top of the box where Kucharski was stationed, and he's almost caught that in the top tier of the stand.
Well, he's been good, hasn't he, on his starting debut for Sydney. Composed finish for his goal, plenty of energy. Why not? Last couple of minutes.
Inside by Halloran, didn't quite work out. Look at that for close control by Joe Lolly. Brilliant. And Jaden Kucharski! It is 4. What an extraordinary first half Sydney FC have had for their new coach. Jaden Kucharski has a double, Joe Lolly 2, and Sydney are surely out of sight before the break.
Well, we spoke about the composed finish for the first goal on the Harvey Norman replay. Look at that from young Jaden Kucharski. It's a delicate finish, little dink over the top of Joe Gauci, but the footwork at the start of that from Joe Lolly was absolutely phenomenal. Red shirts all around, found his way out, drove forward, laid it into the path. Look at this, here it is here. Look at all the red shirts. He goes left, he goes right, now he drives forward, puts it into the path of Kucharski. Lovely little delicate finish over the onrushing Joe Gauci, and it is 4 blocked away to Sydney FC.
Well, Kucharski gets his name on the score sheet, but he was quick to congratulate the work of Joe Lolly. That was a quite brilliant piece of skill, as he had no room for manoeuvre at all. What a scoreline for Sydney FC.
Well, he had no right to get out of there with the ball, did he? There was red shirts all around him everywhere. And I think Carl Viet will be apoplectic with his team at half-time. The defensive errors tonight, letting Joe Lolly in the first few minutes come inside and get a shot away. Not picking up right in front of goal on a corner. Not winning tackles in midfield as well.
The main man, Joe Lolly. My mind goes back just a couple of weeks to Western Sydney Wanderers' first half against Western United, and we raved about how good that performance was, rightly so, in that first 45. This is not far short of it.
No, it's a rival. A completely new team, aren't they? They are rejuvenated. They have pressed, they have been good on the ball. There's been energy from the new players as well. They've combined well. Joe Lolly looks to be full of confidence again.
Adelaide have just not been able to find the answers. Mack turning into a cul-de-sac. Yul. Halloran. So the Adelaide fans are already going for their half-time cup of tea, uttering a few choice words under their breath as well, no doubt. Yul. It's his own player. It was Bernardo, put away to safety by De Jesus. Newmarker. I think it's been a dominant performance, particularly in the midfield by Sydney FC. I wonder if Carvier will look to make a change, or maybe even more than one. A half-time break, we shall see. Just lifts it into the path of Caceres, who's chopped down by Zach Clough. It's just frustration, I think.
Well, it's brilliant play. Caceres, you can see Clough was coming in for the challenge, just a little feint one way, move the ball the other, and draw the foul, and that'll probably take us into half-time. Or am I jumping the gun a minute?
What, 60 seconds between friends? Yeah. I think Adelaide United wish it was.
I was about
minutes.
to say, yeah. Well, we wanted to get into that change room, and
Or maybe not.
well, the players won't, the coaching staff will.
Albeit will have some strong words to say, you'd imagine. Sydney have done everything Ufuk Talay has asked of them and more, as they won the final first half chance here on that occasion. The Reds again can't quite break clear. Kitta. Well, the boos ring out for Adelaide United's first half. Carl is going to, no doubt, have plenty to say, but for Sydney, that as near to perfect a half of football as Ufuk Talay could have dreamt of last night. Sydney FC executing a perfect game plan. A couple of goals for Joe Lolly, 2 for Jaden Kaczarski. What a first half performance by the Sky Blues. At the break at Coopers, Adelaide United 0, Sydney FC 4. We're off to a quick break. On the other side of it, Tara and the team will give us their thoughts on the first half. Don't go away.
intoxicated, maybe a fierce entry, evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to the police for questioning. We ask you to respect your fellow spectators by refraining from illegal and dangerous activities. The A-League's Professional Footballers Australia and Football Coaches Australia are taking a stand against online bullying in Australian football. There's no place for racism, abuse, or hate in our sport.
This year's Alex Tobin Medal is brought to you by Isuzu Ute, awarded to the best player of the season as nominated by the Paramount ANZ football team. The winner of the prestigious award will receive $10,000. Plus, the Isuzu Ute Alex Tobin medalist will nominate a junior football club of choice to win a brand new, top-of-the-range Isuzu D-Max or 7-seat MUX to be announced during the grand final. To stay in touch with the leaderboard, tune in for weekly updates at your home of football.
Well, so to say, the majority inside Coopers Stadium a little bit stunned after that first 45 as they welcome their team back for the second half. Is it a case of damage limitation? I can tell you there are going to be 3 changes made by Carl Veert at half-time. Musa Toure, Luke Dizelle and Luka Jovanovic are all standing by to make their entrance. Carl Veert's message is clear that that first 45 was simply not good enough, particularly at home, where of course they have been so strong, not just this season but last term as well. Sydney FC keeping the home side waiting. Only Andrew Redmayne is out for the visitors at the moment on this perfect evening in South Australia. Actually, Adelaide United's 250th home match in the A-League men's competition tonight. 240 of them here at Coopers. Doesn't look like there are any changes for Sydney FC.
Adelaide United will be making 3
I'm sure the message from Ufuk Talay would have been more of the same, please, for his team. Luke Dizelle is on in place of Ryan Tunnicliffe. And Hiroshi Ibasuki to be replaced by Luka Jovanovic. And Musa Toure is the third member of the new trio as he replaces Ben Halloran. So perhaps a few players have been put on notice after that opening stanza for the Reds. Ryan Kitto, the captain, giving the home side the G up. And I guess when you're in this sort of a situation, the first benchmark is keep a clean sheet second half, try and reduce the deficit. The points may have gone. Maybe this is about pride as much as anything else. Jaden Kucharski had a fantastic first 45 minutes, capped off with his first 2 goals in the competition. Joe Lolly with a brace as well, and a lovely assist for Kucharski's second. So back underway at a rather subdued Coopers Stadium. Sydney FC halfway, Daniel McBreen, to their first win and first points of the season.
Well, it was an emphatic first half performance from Sydney FC. And in contrast, it was very poor from Adelaide. As you say, we've seen the changes, but here comes Sydney already in the second half.
Caceres exchanging passes with Kucharski. Joel King invited forward. 3 in the box. Back post is Lolly, and here's Kucharski on a hat-trick, of course. Didn't really make the right connection. The ball will break for Bratton. Lolly gets there ahead of Kitto. Looking to float it. Fabio Gomez! Unbelievable. Less than a minute played at the start of the second half, and Sydney FC increased their lead to 5, and Fabio Gomez has his first goal in the league for the Sky Blues.
Well, it's disaster for Adelaide, but Sydney FC take a bow. Joe Lolly again, the Harvey Norman replay. Look at this. He's got too much time, but he's a wonderful ball into the back post. He gets his head up, he's able to pick his pass, and it's a good header from Fabio Gomez. But again, the Adelaide defence is non-existent, and it's 5-0. The changes were made at half-time. The impact, nothing has changed.
And he's just guided that one into the corner, just beyond the reach of Joe Gauci. And he's finally getting the service that his talents require. Joe Lolly adds a second assist to his 2 goals. And if the atmosphere was a little flat at half-time around Coopers, well, it's even deader now. Goodness me, who would have predicted this scoreline? I mean, we knew we'd get a response from Sydney.
Yeah, but This is incredible.
And the big Sydney derby to come against the Wanderers next week. That should be some contest. The Wanderers, if you missed the game earlier, too good for Perth Glory, winning by 2-0. Another game, Newcastle edging out Western United, thanks to another goal from Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. This, undoubtedly, at the moment at least, the performance of the weekend. Jesus, met by Kitto. Adelaide throw. Clough just crowded out. Charski works it out towards Lolly. And for Gomez to chase, and he'll reel it in. Lolly available again, as he has been most of the night. Musa Toure paying close attention. Robert Mack. Charski, here they come again, and Mack just missing that vital first touch, otherwise they would have surely been in. Still there for King. And there's been a clash of heads there, I fancy, between Gomez and Popovic. Gomez.
Yeah. As Gomez went up there, when he came down, he just sort of brought the arms down into the face of Popovic.
Adelaide United's record of home defeat in the competition, 5-0 to Perth Glory back in 2017, so that's certainly under threat with such a way to go. It's been a strange sort of a performance from the Reds, hasn't it? As good as Sydney have been, Adelaide have just not been at the races, or unless that's just that Sydney have not allowed them to be. Let's see what Musa Toure can do here. Home fans desperate for something to cheer. Flag was up anyway.
Well, if you look at the goals, yes, there's been some brilliance from Sydney FC, but the defending has been nothing short of woeful. Too much time and space. Players not stepping up to the ball, not making tackles, not marking up, following runs. It's an absolute nightmare for the Adelaide coaching staff.
And Robbie Cornthwaite made the point at half-time, Macca, that at times, I think this is a malaise that is prevalent across the league as well. You've got to know when the time is right to be playing out from the back.
Yeah. Sometimes I think when you're under pressure, you invite more and more pressure. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, isn't it? And expecting a different result. Well, we've been getting the same result for most of the first half.
Those Sydney FC fans in the far corner of the ground don't care one bit. They're having the time of their lives at the moment. I'll tell you, some of the Adelaide fans already made for the exits. Ball will drop here for Bratton. Caceres. Lolly. Within fields. Towards Luke Dazelle by Kitto. And Popovic looking to spring the offside trap. And Musa Toure, no flag. Chance here for Adelaide. Great save, Redmayne. And he was agile enough to recover as well. Flag was up. He wouldn't have counted. But again, Andrew Redmayne was not to know that.
No, he's been good tonight as well for Sydney FC. He's had a shaky opening few games to the season, a couple of errors, but you see there, the run just a little too early. Good defensive line from Sydney FC. And as you say, Edward Redmayne, he wasn't to know.
Brack. Beautifully curling ball out towards Robert Mack, who has Kucharski in support. Uses him as the decoy. Threads it through. Caceres trying to turn and shoot as he spun. Adelaide just about got bodies behind the ball.
Well, you got the feeling that there's a lot more goals to come in this game, and it does not look good for Adelaide. Just carved up again there from Sydney FC. Wonderful movement, moving the ball well.
Tito into the channel. On the chase is Jovanovic, and it's going to be a free kick against Lacerda. Says he got the ball, and Kersey disagrees. The crowd baying for the yellow card.
Well, I didn't think he got the ball either.
Certainly got Jovanovic.
He certainly did. And if that's...
Well, the ball did hit his head, well, inadvertently.
I can see the crowd's wanting of a yellow card there. Rather lunged in.
Well, this Adelaide crowd is normally pretty patient and trying to lift their team on what's been a miserable night so far for them. Zach Clough with the free kick towards the back post. And it bobbles around a bit. Will it sit for Jovanovic? Jabs it back for Bernardo. A lot of bodies to try and get through. Johnny Yule, they have to be careful of the counter here. Not quite. Luke Dizelle.
Well, if he didn't get that touch there, did you see the Sydney FC players outnumbering the Adelaide players to get back? Just the desire and the energy. It's night and day between the white and red shirts.
Lolly nipping it ahead of Ansell. Sydney could be in again. Caceres. Gomez was just lurking for any mistake from the Reds' defence. Clough to tidy up. Now they'll spring forward. Dizelle. Musatore away on the right. Jovanovic and Bernardo wait in the box. Toure leaves it for Clough. Have they delayed too long? The cross comes in. And Redmayne plucks it out of the night sky. And now they've got to chase back Adelaide. They committed some numbers to that attack. Sarah's doing well under pressure. They've got a couple of away trips to come over the next couple of weeks. Western United first, then Macarthur. Jovanovic. Clough. Held up well by Girdwood Reich. Caceres. Lolly. Around Kitto with ease, Joe Lolly. And the scraps are picked up by Fabio Gomez. Lolly again. The clip ball towards Robbie Mack. Kucharski, little scoop over the top. It's Robbie Mack. And Ansell got a touch after Gauch's save. And Adelaide again were unpicked defensively. And now they've coughed up a free kick. Sydney just running rampant.
Yeah. And as much as we can wax lyrical about how good Sydney are, emphasise how stagnant the Adelaide defence has been. They've been chasing shadows all night.
It's Adelaide's biggest defeat at Cooper Stadium down the years. So this one is right up there, alongside that game against Perth 6 years ago. Biggest ever defeat was 7-1 hammering at the hands of Brisbane Roar back in 2011. Getting there ahead of Kitto. Appeal from Fabio Gomez didn't quite work out. Johnny York. Tidiest of back headers from Joel King, but it did the job. You can count on the fingers of one hand the number of mistakes collectively that Sydney have made tonight. There's one of them from Joel King. Pencil back for Gauci. Sydney looking to apply the press. Forcing that longer clearance. Well, King lost his bearings for a moment. Now he's lost the ball as well. Moussa Toure. Just in a split second there, Mac, we had sort of a glimpse of Adelaide tonight. Should be in position to take a quicker throw here because Redmayne was well out of position. And Bernardo were ready to go as Moussa Toure got the ball some moments ago. It didn't arrive, and by the time they did play it forward, they were on the back foot. Here is Bernardo. Nice little feint to get away. Here's a chance. Steered towards goal by Zach Clough, but again Sydney had bodies in the right positions. Caceres. Fabio Gomez has got the wrong side of Ansell, squares it across. Robbie Mack! That's a really good stop from Joe Gauci to prevent further damage.
Well, Joe Gauci's probably the only player at the moment on the Adelaide team that can hold his head high. He's 2 or 3 good saves in this second half now. Very unselfish from Fabio Gomez there to square the ball. Would have easily gone towards goal himself.
Too far in advance of Bernardo.
And what a difference a week in football makes. Fabio Gomez in the opening games of the season didn't look to have any real cohesion or understanding. As we see there, look, he's not even looked. He's obviously got a call, but he knew I'm squaring that up. Whether they've worked on that in the last 2 days or it's just starting to come together. All of a sudden, the combinations, particularly between himself and Joe Lolly and Jaden Kacharski, everything they're touching is turning to gold at the moment.
Yes. Adelaide throw. Ivanovic. Bernardo, that's clever. And is there a bit of contact on Asuda on Kitto? Adam Kersey says no.
No, I don't think it was. And I think that's the reason Kitto got up so quickly, because he was expecting the touch. Nothing came, and he thought, oh, there's going to be a yellow card in this for me. I'm getting back on my feet quickly.
Lacerda, who's on loan with Sydney this season, but says he wants to make the move from his native Brazil permanent. Declined by Fabio Gomes, his compatriot. That's off the head of Ryan Kitto. We're going to see another change presently for the Reds. Panache Madana is ready to go. Time De Jesus with the throw for Sydney. Dizelle. And straight into Bratton, but has managed to maintain possession. Borbolina on the right. Marshall by Gertrude Reich, but Mack has got himself into a bit of a tangle here, and it's a penalty for the push by Robert Mack. Well, Sydney seemed to be in no danger, but he got himself into a little bit of a tangle here, Robert Mack, and then shoved over Zach Clough. And Adelaide had the chance to get on the board.
They just allowed Zach Clough to nick in on the wrong side. There was a little bit of a tussle and then just gave the shove.
Andrew Redmayne is going to keep his first clean sheet of the season. He's going to have to perform his now legendary heroics. Keep out Zach Clough's penalty. VAR, of course, looks at all these decisions and makes sure there is no clear and obvious error. Oh, maybe there is.
Well, I think Robert Mack was saying that Zach Clough pulled at his shirt first. And maybe that's what has been called over to have a look at.
Kersey disappearing down the tunnel. Here it is again. That contact starts outside the box.
You can see
continues in. Is there enough to overturn it?
In my opinion, so you can see the pull of the left hand from Zach Clough there could be construed as a foul. If you're being extremely harsh, you see there he pulls with the handful of shirt. Then they go into the box, and then there's the shove, and I do say Zach Clough does go down very easily, but I think it'll be upheld. Yeah,
penalty it is. Smile, I think, on the face of Carl Pearce. He knows it's probably not going to make too much difference to the final outcome. It's a chance for a little bit of respectability, if Zach Clough can convert, of course. He converted one against the Central Coast Mariners. The opening weekend of the new season. Andrew Redmayne, of course, is the penalty saving specialist. Normally fires centrally, Zach Clough. Let's see. The usual dancing on the line from Andrew Redmayne. Will it work? Not this time. Sent him the wrong way. Zach Clough has his second goal of the season, and Adelaide are on the board at least.
Well, Harvey Norman replay shows the shove there from Robbie Mack. He normally goes central. Redmayne trying his normal antics, but Adelaide get on the scoreboard at least. Some solace.
Substitution for Adelaide
on a dark night.
Number 31, Bernardo. He'll be replaced by number 30.
his 6th goal in the competition. Both this season have come from the spots. And confirmation of that change for the Reds as well. Panash Madana replacing Bernardo. And Madana has gone to play out on the right-hand side ahead of Bovalina, with Musa Toure now coming out to the left. And Sydney are going to make their first change as well. And Jaden Kucharski has had one heck of a starting debut. Macca gives way for Patrick Wood.
Yeah, he's been fantastic tonight. Wonderful performance from the young man. Composure on the finishes. I think he'll be right in the mix for a player of the match contention.
And he will hope for starting berth in the Sydney derby next week. Or after the international break, I should say. Adelaide have got just over 20 minutes to try and eat into that big deficit. They've made a start. Musa Toure threads it through. Luka Jovanovic. Good save. Redmayne just jabbing out left arm to deflect the ball behind for a corner.
Nice play from the two young Reds. Just looking to stab it past Andrew Redmayne there. Jovanovic stood up strong.
And it's brought about this corner. Clough's delivery. It's a good climb by Popovic at the back post. Couldn't get the direction. Perfect setting on a Saturday night. Best little football ground in the country. Sydney FC have provided most of the attacking entertainment. Here's Dizelle. Madana had to arc his run back towards the ball. Bovalina. Nice skills from the fullback. Dizelle returns the ball to him. Option wide left is Musa Toure. And he's away from De Jesus. Big chance here, Madana! And it's the Red Army it goes. Well, the youngsters are starting to fire a bit.
Yeah, they're bringing some energy into this Adelaide team. Toure with some wonderful feet in his near side. Madana out. A little look to the heavens to say, yeah, I know, I should have done a little better there. Had to hit the target.
Andrew Redmayne's got a bit of a problem here. Left ankle, perhaps.
Cynic in me here is going to say Adelaide are starting to get a little bit of action at that end and maybe said, I just need to calm this down a little bit. Experience play?
Maybe.
Or a knock on the previous corner.
Both are possibilities. Let's go down to Lucas Ronaldo's sideline for us. Lucas.
Yeah, mentioned in the first half, the two coaches' level of how vocal each of them have been. Colvert, normally so loud and chirpy on the bench, has been quite stoic considering his team's performance for most of this second half. Ufuk Tele, I mean, you see on screen, he on the other hand, you wouldn't know that he's 5-1 up. He's been screaming and screaming and screaming, not happy with part of his team's performance, but really doesn't have too much to complain about at this stage.
Thanks, Lucas. Sydney FC are going to make a double change presently. Rich Glasson and Jordan Courtney Perkins taking the training tops off. Maybe Calvert has just put it down to one of those bad nights at the office. They were slow out of the blocks. Sydney were sharper, crisper in the tackle. Reds were 2-0 down before they knew it, before we'd even played 15 minutes. Here are those changes for Sydney. Robert Mack takes his leave after having conceded the penalty. And Joel King also gets his number called. Glasson going to get another appearance off the bench, the teenager. And Jordan Courtney Perkins, who's another one of those who's been called up into the Ollie Roos for 2 friendlies against Saudi Arabia and Qatar this week. It's going to get just over a quarter of an hour.
Thank you for your attendance at Cooper Stadium.
Joel King's expense.
12,859.
So we're ready to go with Lolly's free kick. And Bobolina might have been able to leave that one, but saying to his goalkeeper, I didn't get a shout. Or if I did, I didn't hear it.
Well, I heard through the effects mic, away, away. You could have been told just to let it go. And they're getting very aggressive at the moment with each other. A lot of verbals, a little bit of pushing and shoving between teammates. Joe Gauci putting his teammates in the position he wants them to physically.
Luke Bratton getting a hero's welcome from those Sydney FC fans in the corner. He now delivers. Ollie waiting for it to drop in vain. Torre trying to scamper clear, and Lolly's there again. What a game he's had. Wood alongside. Oh, and Gauci has spilled it. Lifted it up for the second attempt.
Well, this performance tonight from Joe Lolly takes me back to the Australia Cup, where he looked full of confidence. He spoke about making sure he was extra fit this season. Well, he looks like that player again tonight. He's been like a man possessed. Even without the ball, chasing, pressing, looking to win tackles.
That's surely a foul by Patrick Wood. Lost the boot as well, the Red skipper. Wood graciously gives back to him.
In the old days, would have thrown it over the sideline.
Popovic. Perkins with the header. Sydney throw. Gomez. He's certainly shown us more of his potential tonight. Caceres. Popovic remaining prone on the deck for the Reds, which leaves them a bit short-handed. It's Joe Lolly. Kitto back in time to make the block. Popovic still down. Play goes on. Musa Torre on the charge. Not much support. And Sydney tidy things up. And still we go on. Popovic is now back up and about, if rather gingerly. Inside by Glasson wasn't quite accurate enough for Caceres. This is Nick Ansell. Johnny Yull. Popovic. Shift on, as Patrick Wood was keeping him honest. Clough. Toure. Going off to Jesus. season only Newcastle Jets, Western United and the Central Coast Mariners, who did it on 2 occasions, came to Cooper Stadium and left with all 3 points. Surely it's too late for the Reds to turn this one around. They're going to try though. Moussa Touré. Ito keeps it in play. Clough. Luke Dazelle. Can't really set himself properly.
First touch took it just a little bit behind him. Just trying to stretch and bend and twist the ball.
With 4 red jerseys around him. Jovanovic. Forced that fine save out of Andrew Redmayne a few minutes ago. Molly. He's been close to unplayable tonight.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's going to open up for them on the left again. Oh, just left it a fraction short, and a slip by Glassam opened the door for Bovalina. And the Reds come forward instead. Madana. An easy take in the end for Andrew Redmayne. Signs of encouragement at least for the Reds in the second half. That's the As Live ladder, which will show that Sydney will move off the foot of the table. They secure all the 3 points as we expect them to do, to be replaced by the Mariners. They're in action tomorrow against Brisbane. Adelaide missing the chance to go 2 points clear at the top. Rather disappointing for a crowd of 12,859.
Well, they came here with high hopes, didn't they? 9 goals in the last 2 home games. They've seen plenty of goals, just for the wrong team.
Redwick Steve. Easily recognisable.
I have to say that the introduction of the younger substitutes for Adelaide has made a change, has made a bit of a difference, but obviously too little too late for Adelaide tonight. But again, some positive signs with the youngsters coming through.
Here's one of Sydney's youngsters, Mitch Glassam. Wood. Molly. Slight miscue from the Englishman. Not a particularly good cross either. We'll be off with the Socceroos in the coming days for that double header against Bangladesh and then Palestine. Two games you'll see on Network 10, of course. Teasing cross from Kitto. Forward by Lacerda. It's been one of those nights, hasn't it? And, Lucas Ronaldo is right. Carl Vitt hasn't ranted and raved too much tonight. Probably feels as though it's a waste of breath.
Well,
really.
when you go 5-0 down 1 minute into the second half, there's not really much you can say. It's going to change the fortunes.
De Jesus. Ansel at full stretch, chested down by Lolly. Gomez. It's a miscue, but it's worked its way through for Glasson. Touch makes it rather straightforward for Gauci. Glasson still just 17 years of age. Same as Zach de Jesus. Glasson. Being challenged by Bobolina. Turned back by Clough. Toure. Fair obstruction by Lolly. Veteran against the youngster. Shalt not pass.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to match him for pace, so logical conclusion there was to block the part of the runner.
Zach Clough with a free kick. Plenty of runners here for the Reds. Redmayne's come a long way. It's a good take. Really good claim by the goalkeeper. It's not going to win him too many fans though in the Red Army behind the goal. He did run into a teammate. Just give me the chance, Maka, to ask you about Adelaide and whether this is just sort of a one-off performance, if you like, or have you spotted any more serious structural problems?
Well, if we go back to half-time, and Robbie Cornthwaite pointed out, the Mariners worked out Adelaide last season with a very high, intense press and put them under pressure. And Sydney have taken it straight out of that playbook. From the very first minute, you heard Ufuk Talay just pressing and pressing, and they seemed devoid of ideas. They didn't try to play through midfield. When they did, they lost it. They tried to go long. When they did go long, they didn't go to their biggest player, which was their number 9 in Hiroshi Ibasuki. And with so many youngsters in the squad as well, I think it is going to be hit and miss sometimes as well. They're not going to be consistently great all the time. That's just the nature of it.
Sarah's all over Madana. Clough works it out quickly for Musa Toure. And wins the corner. Third member of the Toure family to represent the Reds, of course, Musa. Looks to have plenty about him, just like the other two. Into the last 5 minutes, Clough's corner. Away by Courtney Perkins. Dazelle first for the loose ball, but Courtney Perkins' presence was enough. Sydney are going to make a change here, and Joe Lolly is going to be withdrawn. What a performance. Near perfect, if you believe the Paramount Plus player index. Almost the perfect score. 2 goals, 2 assists. What a display by the Englishman.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic tonight. Not only with his work with the ball, but his work rate off the ball as well. He has been fantastic. Some sublime skill, first with his own goals, but the dribbling for the assist for Kucharski, the little cross ball on for Fabio Gomez for his goal. It's an all-round fantastic display.
And his replacement is Matthew Scarcella. It's a A-League debut for the 19-year-old. Who started at Sydney Olympic. He's had a spell in Greece with Xanthi, under-19s, I think, while Tony Popovic was there, before returning to Sydney's NPL team. Played a couple of times off the bench in the Australia Cup, but this is his A-League bow tonight. Congratulations to him. So many teenagers have been given their opportunity this season already, which is great to see.
Yeah, it is great. Record numbers of under-23 players in the A-Leagues. And they just keep coming.
Turned back by Ansell. Moved on by Kitto. Two more games to come in the competition, of course, tomorrow to bring round 4 to a close. Melbourne City against Macarthur and struggling Mariners at home to Brisbane. Sydney completes their win tonight. They will be the only team left without a point in the competition so far. Perkins gets the better of his opponent. Scarcella. Jesus. He's had a good starting debut in place of Ryan Grant.
He's been fantastic, a youngster. Full of energy, looks to get forward whenever he can. He's been sound defensively as well. And then under fatigue, another youngster, Musa Toure, running at him. He's fared well under the pressure.
The 90 minutes almost up. The result has long since been decided as we tick over into 5 additional minutes. Adelaide have a free kick, which Musa Toure is in a hurry to get on with. Pings it out wide right. Into the box by Bobolina and out for a corner off the head of Girdwood Rope. He's looked a lot more assured in that central defensive role tonight, alongside Gabriel Lacerda. Zach Clough's corner. And it's punched deep, and Kitto was just waiting to apply the finishing touch, but Lacerda to Sydney's rescue. The Reds will go again, shorter this time. Change of angle, Clough. Gomez at the near post for Sydney. Good turn by Luke Dazelle. Which has stayed forward, and for a moment it looked as though it might have looped over the top of Redmayne. This performance, Macca, gives Ufuk Talay not just 3 points, but a platform as well.
Yeah, yeah. We heard Tara Rushton say in the pre-match broadcast that teams will step up when a new coach comes in, and he said, well, we'll continue that trend. And well, they've set the benchmark now for the standard for the season.
That's a bit of icing on the cake left for Sydney FC. Got a free kick. Lacerda. Just looking back through the records, this is the first time that Sydney have ever hit 5 in a game against Adelaide United. That's Musa Toure. More late consolation for the Reds. Not quite.
Well, we've said it earlier that the young substitutes have made a change in the fortunes of the match as the game sort of petered out in the last 20 minutes with the result already confirmed. There's plenty for those to work on this week. You can see the discussions already starting on the bench. That man in the middle, Isais, probably grateful that he hasn't had to go on at 4 or 5-0. Sometimes, as much as you want to play, sometimes when it's not going your way, you can think, well, I can have a rest day today.
Tell you what, he'll be putting his hand up though, won't he?
Oh, without a doubt.
Trips to Western and MacArthur.
Yeah, without a doubt.
To the final few seconds, Adelaide are going to have a late free kick. Let's see if the foul by Jordan Courtney Perkins. Molina feeling the pace at the end of his starting debut in the competition. He's worked hard down that right flank, the youngster, but along with much of his teammates, struggled to make an impact. Clough's delivery is a good one too, and Ryan Kitto met it. Steered his effort wide, and that might just be about that. There we go. The Ufuk Talay era is up and running and off to a flyer. Sydney FC bagging their first points of the new season as they end Adelaide United's unbeaten starts. They are off the foot of the ladder. Joe Lolly, undoubtedly the star. 2 goals and 2 assists. A brace 2 for Jaden Kucharski and 1 for Fabio Gomez. Zach Clough with Adelaide's only response from the spots after a foul by Robert Mack. A bad night at the office for the Reds, who were looking to go top tonight. In the end, they were absolutely flattened by a rampant Sydney FC, who will feel now that their season has started in earnest. Full time at Cooper Stadium. 3 points for Sydney FC. They've defeated Adelaide United by 5 goals to 1. Let's go down to Lucas Ronaldo.
Yeah, Simon, I'm here with the man of the moment, Jaden Kucharski. What a starting debut that is. Does it get any better than that?
Oh, hat-trick would have been nice, but nah, take the win, take a couple goals, so I'm happy with that.
Ufuk Talay didn't get much time to get his message across. What did he say to you before your starting debut?
Just keep it simple, really. Like, I know a couple of games come on, been a bit frantic, so just keep it simple. Had a few clear messages to the boys, and that's what we did first half, and paid off.
Joe Lolly, magnificent as well with his 2 goals. Of course, set up one of yours as well. How important is it to have him playing at the level that he's played at tonight?
Oh, Joe's class. You know, all last season he had moments, and then today is just, I think, one of his best games in a while now. If he does that every week, I think, wow, happy to be on his team.
How difficult was it for the group? Of course, Steve Croker been such a pillar of Sydney FC. How difficult was it for the group to sort of get themselves up for tonight?
Yeah, it was hard. Like, I know a lot of the boys have worked under him for a couple of years now. He's been at the club for 16 to 19 years, and he was a key character of the club. I think everyone thanked him for everything the work, and then we had a job to do, so we just got on with it.
How massive is it for you when you get a new coach coming in to be straight away installed in the starting lineup? That must give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it does. I'm glad that Uffy and all the other coaching staff had confidence in me to put the starter, and with that I could do a good performance for him.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations. All right, Joe Gauci will join us now in a slight moment. Joe Gauci just having a word with Ufuk Tele. Joe, commiserations, mate. Obviously a very disappointing result. What went wrong out there tonight?
Everything, mate. Similar to last week, out the block's really slow. They get an early goal, and we're on the back foot from there. Our ball movement was too slow. Our distances were too big. You know, they came out really aggressive like we expected them to off the back of their previous results. And we made it easy for them. We played into areas that made it easy for them to press us. So, yeah, not much else to say.
What did Carl say after that first half?
There's no words for that. It's an embarrassment. You know, from myself all the way through the team, it wasn't good enough at home. Off the back of our last two performances here, we want to make this place a fortress, and we were far from our best tonight.
We saw you at times dragging players around from set pieces. What went wrong defensively? Was it just a lack of communication?
Oh, a lot, mate. Yeah, communication is a big thing. I think that's my part as well. You know, I can communicate better and make my communication clearer. But no, we were so stretched. You know, we're turning the ball over in dangerous areas in a couple of passes and they threw on goals. So it's a tough pill to swallow, but, you know, we've got a couple of weeks now. It's a good time to reflect on our last 2 weeks, which haven't been at our best after the start we had. So we'll bounce back. And
of course, for you, in that couple of weeks, the international call-up must be even more keen now to get together with the Socceroos.
Yeah, no, obviously it's an honour to be a part of that camp. But, yeah, I'm just really disappointed about tonight. You know, you want to go into an international break on a high, and it's far from it tonight. So, no, I'll go away. I'll enjoy the experience. You know, it's great to go in and work with some really high-quality players and, you know, and start the journey for qualifying for another World Cup. So it is exciting, yes, but it's not good enough tonight, and I'm disappointed.
Thanks for your time, Joe.
Thank you.